We're starting on page 10 with regards to the Aurah. The Aurah. The Aurah is the nakedness or that which constitutes nakedness in Islam. In order to do certain acts of worship, you have to have your Aurah covered. When you do certain acts of worship, especially in the Salat, you have to have your Aurah covered. You have to have your nakedness covered. So inshallah, we will discuss what is the Aurah or what needs to be covered in Islam. We'll be reading from the Hadith, inshallah, and discuss these things, inshallah. Narrated by Abdul-Rahman, the son of Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, radiyallahu anhu, from his father. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, a man should not see the private parts of another man. A man should not see the private parts of another man, and a woman should not see the private parts of another woman. And a man should not lie with another man under one covering, and a woman should not lie with another woman under one covering. So again, the man should not see the private parts of another man. So it's haram for a man to look at the nakedness of another man. Alright? And he said it's not permissible for the woman to look at the nakedness, the private parts of another woman. Okay? So it's haram. I don't care. They got the norm of looking at pornos and watching people have sex and all this other stuff. Looking at people's private parts. This is haram in Islam. Sneak a peek. Okay? In Islam, we do not look at nobody's aura. For the man, we don't look at the next person's private part. See what they're working with and all this other stuff. That's homosexuality. The other part of the hadith, it says another man should not lie with another man underneath one cover. Okay? In Islam, we separate the beds. Boys, y'all should not be sleeping in the bed together. Y'all get to a certain age, you should not sleep under the same cover together. Same as the sisters should not sleep under the same cover as each other. You should have separate beds. According to this hadith, the age of discernment. For the girls, we're talking about the age of 10, or when you get to discernment. But we know here in America, the age is, promiscuity, it starts young here. Or boys are getting curious. Don't let your boys, you shouldn't let the boys take baths together. But they're curious with one another, looking at each other. It's haram to look at the private parts. According to this hadith, the man should not look at the other man's private parts. Little boys should not be looking at the other boy's private parts. When they can understand what that is, they should stop being in the same bathtub together. Okay? Allahu Alam. We're not talking about babies. We're talking about grown men. You look at another grown man. Okay? You look at another little teenager. Okay? If the boys, we should try to be mindful of boys, say if you're changing a girl's diaper, right? The little boys, it's not for them to be looking at that. Okay, leave that to the mother or leave that to the family member. If you're not related to that child, or if you're not one who's a mahram, you shouldn't be in there when the baby's being changed like that. No, this is period. You should not look at the next woman's private parts. If you're a woman, you should not look at the next woman's private parts. If you're a man, it's haram to look at another man's private parts. The difference between the age of the boys and the girls is pertaining to the disciplining of them. The boys should be disciplined by the father at the age of 7, and the girls should be disciplined by the father at the age of 10. But they're disciplined by the mother until the age of 10, the girls. No, at the age of 7, they should do their salat. Teach them, both the boy and the girl. And at the age of 10, they are to be spanked if they don't do it. But as far as the disciplining, at the age of 7, the boys are nurtured by their mother to the age of 7 and disciplined by the mother to the age of 7. At the age of 7, it's the responsibility of the father to discipline the boy child. The girl child is disciplined by the mother until the age of 10. At the age of 10, it's the father's responsibility to discipline the girl child. It's according to hadith. Continuing. Clothing is essential to a human being. It's essential. Physically, clothing protects a human, but spiritually, it is a symbol of human dignity. Islamic ruling defines the aurah is something that should be hidden and is protected to be seen. So the aurah is that which should be protected and unseen, i.e. your private parts or that which constitutes nakedness. According to the scholars, aurah is to be hidden at all situations, in or outside of the prayers. Overall schools of thought in Islamic fiqh have unanimously agreed that the aurah for the men is between the navels and the knee, while for the women their aurah is the whole body except their faces and palms, based on a powerful source from Quran and Sunnah. So the aurah, or that which constitutes nakedness, or that which must be covered for the men, right, is between the navel and knees. So again, the man, I know our aurah is different than the woman, but that which must be covered at all times is between the navel and the knee. And as the brother said in the hadith, he said if you have a single garment, you should wear something that covers the shoulders. Okay? But if it's two pieces of garment, then you don't have to have the shoulders covered. The reason why, because if you're in a single garment, it can slip and fall and maybe expose your private parts of your nakedness. That's why something should cover and hold it up. Okay? But for the man, it's between the navel and the knees. If he's covered between the navel and the knees, his aurah is intact. For the woman, it is the whole body except the face and the palm or the hands. So with regards to the woman, now we're going to speak about the hijab and the covering of the woman and the proper etiquettes of covering for the woman, inshallah. Okay, but for the men, navel to the knee. This is what is considered or constitutes nakedness.